Hi, I'm Mark. This is Action Figuratorium, and this is another edition of Toy Talk in which we ask the question, what are Minimates? And the answer most likely is, they're this. So stick around. So today we're going to be talking about what are Minimates, sort of the history, the ups and downs, what's cool about them, what's not cool about them. First of all, let's talk about what they are specifically. They are a form factor. They're a 2-inch minifigure. Here is a DC Starfire character. All figures are pretty much made out of the exact same basic parts, regardless of gender. Right? They all have arms that are on a ball joint. They have a head that's on a ball joint. They have legs that are on a ball joint. And then they have a hinge for knees and elbows. The heads on Minimates are cylinders, which looks kind of weird, but it allows them to put hats and hair on them. So basically, kind of like Legos, right? And first time you see one of these guys, you think maybe it's a Lego figure, but it's not. So kind of like Legos, what you do is, as a manufacturer, you paint on whatever the character's main costume or emblem or colors that collectors, fans will recognize it. And you make it, it's 2D, you make it look like it's 3D. So in the case of Starfire, it looks like she has a chest, but it's just drawn on. And same thing with anything like including the boots or wristbands, it's all painted on, right? So these are pretty easy to make. They're pretty small. You can just keep cranking out the same generic parts, and you can paint them as many different ways as you want. So you're not going to have to make a lot of new molds for these guys, and as a result, you can make thousands of these Minimates figures in all different types of varieties on the cheap and sell them to people on the cheap. And I personally love these guys. I think they're really fun to collect. They're kind of like a Lego minifigure, except that you get way more articulation, and it's just big enough to where you get way more size. Another example here is here's a Catwoman Minimate. You can see what I'm talking about. This is the Hush comic book character, right? So you basically just go with black, paint on some Catwoman. So let's talk about where these guys started. I know everybody wants to talk about origins of Minimates. 2002, right? So they've been with us a while. Something created by Art Asylum to be a essentially a 3-inch figure. And when Art Asylum started, they didn't have all these different brands like they do now. They had some rock brands. They had an Iron Maiden, an Ozzy Osbourne, a Rob Zombie, things like that. And so they made some 3-inch figures. And let's show you my collection here. This is a Iron Maiden Eddie on the right as a mummy power slave. On the left is Ozzy in sort of a Bark at the Moon costume look. They also did Kiss. I've got the Kiss ones. No need to show you the Kiss ones right now. But this is what they started with. It was 3-inch guys, and they did this for a year, and they did it with a bunch of kind of sort of pop and rock icons, and nothing real major. What happened next was Diamond Select Toys got involved in 2003, and they took the form factor that Minimates had started, but they shrunk it to 2 inches, and they did that as kind of a promo for, I believe it was a wave or a line of Marvel minifigures. And this is essentially what Minimates became, the 2-inch guys, and they sort of quit making these 3-inch guys, and you never really see them again. Although I think there's a new thing that they're coming out with, or have been out with for a little bit, called Minimates or Vinmates. I'm gonna have to go check it out. I've seen some of these and they seem like they're just like they're taking bigger figures, but it seems like they're really only making those because they're trying to compete with like by making them bigger to where it starts to visually impede into the space of Pops by Funko and bobbleheads and things like that. So it seems like it's an attempt to try to move into that market with these figures, but this is where they started with the big dogs. And so from that point on, these guys have pretty much run through every possible franchise, kind of like the Funko Pops, that you can imagine, including mainstream stuff or big, licensees like Marvel, DC. Then of course you've got all sorts of movies like Ghostbusters. You've got movies like The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Quentin Tarantino movies have been done as Minimates. You have these guys ranging from Alien to Battlestar Galactica to Mortal Kombat. It's just an endless list, and that's just the things off the top of my head. If you dig into it, you'll find that there's 1,000,001 different franchises these guys have done. And because it's so easy, once you make that lab coat, any single character who has a lab coat, well, you've just automatically got yourself an easy new figure. It doesn't take that much. Just put a brand new piece of hair on the guy, put a lab coat, and ship it, and there you have it. So in 2007, DST, Diamond Select Toys, eventually bought Art Asylum, and I don't think really anything changed. I think they probably just did it to protect themselves and probably get rid of redundancy. But one of the more interesting things that Minimates has done, and I should have a figure around here. Here we go. Is they didn't have the line for Pirates of the Caribbean, right? I think that was like Jacks had that and was making toys for them. So they came out with their own pirate line called Calico Jacks Pirate Raiders. And what it was is there was a couple pirate characters, right? Like here's one. This is kind of like he's in sort of some sort of admiral outfit, but he's got like a pirate patch and beard, and and then they made some sort of British commander type guys, as a sort of, I don't know, I guess they'd be the antagonists to the pirates, if the pirates are the main story. And then they just kind of put in some undead guys, some undead pirates, like this guy here. He's got like a sort of a green beard, and he's kind of got gray skin and red eyes, and he's got some weird sword that could never, do anything. So these guys are called Calico Jacks Pirate Raiders, and I thought these guys were so fantastic because they were totally like a, someone making Pirates of the Caribbean bootleg, and it's like, well, it just get kind of close, It felt like that, and I thought it was a lot of fun. So I did what I could to buy as many of them as I could find on the cheap, and I have quite a few that are still in boxes, but I actually bought some and I ended up with duplicates, and that's what these guys are. And these could end up in my eBay show, Catch and Release. I may, because I've already got some, I may send these back into the wild for you guys. Supposedly there is some stop motion that has been done by Diamond Select Toys of their specific brands, like the Pirate Jack line. I haven't seen any of these shows. I actually haven't gone looking, which is weird because I really like Minimates, and I think that they're a lot of fun and kind of cool, and I should do a lot more photography with them in the studio here. When they sell Minimates, they sell them in 2-packs. Generally, I don't know that sometimes I've seen them in 4-packs, but I never see them as a single carded figure. Now I know that they do exclusives for Comic-Cons, and a lot of times those are just like, like just a clear figure, or just, like a keychain, like a tchotchke, but they might have some specific ones that come carded by themselves, but I've never really seen them. I've never seen a single one on a card. I've seen them as a 2-pack, and give you an example. Here's a 2-pack. This is Gwenpool. If you've watched the Action Figuratorium channel, you'd see that I bought a Gwenpool at a Goodwill. It was one that somebody had stolen the Build-A-Fig out of, and so it was probably at a Toys R Us, and somebody shoplifted that, and then the employees had to pull it down. They threw it in the back. It was in the unsold pile when the place closed, and it ended up in my Goodwill somehow. Only explanation. Anyways, I got a Gwenpool Marvel Legends figure, and everybody hates Gwenpool, and for good reason. There's no point for this character. It's really like Marvel's attempt at a type of a cash grab, and good at them for trying. You know, I mean, they actually kind of asked people, like, you know, what are some new characters that you like, and they said, well, kind of like this guy. So I've been trying to take Gwenpool and put her into photos where she's cool. I'm trying to make her cool, and I thought it'd be great to get the Minimates Gwenpool and see if I can't make her cool too. Make both of them cool. Maybe put them in the same photo. Maybe that's, you double down Minimates Marvel Legends Gwenpools, and that's, I don't know. We'll see what we can do. What's interesting though is that it comes with Black Cat. Now normally when you package toys in 2-packs, what you're doing is you're putting a figure in that everybody wants with a figure in that nobody wants. And the reason why you do that is because otherwise the figure that nobody wants isn't going to sell. So you got to strap it, physically strap it to something that's going to sell. Now, are they suggesting that Black Cat is going to sell and it's just going to bring Gwenpool with them? Or do they think that, like, people who like Gwenpool also like the Black Cat, so this is a really strong seller? Or do they think that Gwenpool is the figure that people are going to be buying and that they're just getting rid of these useless Black Cat figures? Well, I don't know, but they've been making Black Cat action figures for a long time, and she's kind of popular because well, they just draw her as a very sort of buxom woman with white hair and a black cat suit who sort of just runs around doing stuff, as far as I can tell. And in the comic book universe, that's gold, my friends, that's gold. So I don't know what they were thinking when they put these two together. I don't know what they have in common. Gwenpool to me has nothing in common with anybody in the Marvel universe. Black Cat is, of course, kind of a B character or even a C character, you know, and she comes and goes as needed. If you just need someone to be driving a delivery truck, hey, it's Black Cat. But what's kind of cool about this is, and this is from 2017, by the way, when this came out, for those of you wanting a context. What's kind of cool about this is it comes with a sword for Gwenpool, which in the comics she's got 2 swords like Deadpool, so she's like double katanas, and the Marvel Legends come with 2. This comes with 1, so that's kind of a drag. It should really come with 2, but okay, I get it. It also comes with a set of hair for Gwenpool, so she takes off the weird floppy hat and she's got blonde hair. And then it also comes with a phone, because what we know about Gwenpool is she likes to take selfies. Now, the Marvel Legends figure that I have also came with a phone, and one night I lost the phone. It popped out of the package, fell on the floor. I spent hours looking for it, because if you don't find it immediately, it's never going to get found. It's going to get vacuumed up, and this thing, which had everything minus the bath piece, right, is that less complete. If you look on eBay, you see tons of people selling Gwenpool Marvel Legends missing the phone. I had the phone, lost the phone, freaked out, had to find it. Well, good news, this one also comes with a phone. And so, is this part of the Gwenpool character, that she has a phone and takes selfies? If so, I can see why people don't really care for this character, because it doesn't, you know, you want fantastic stories, you want bigger than life stories, you want normal people doing bigger than life things. You don't want bigger than life things doing normal stuff like taking selfies. That is stupid. I know when they did it, they thought, well, this is gonna like really appeal to girls, because this is what our marketing told us girls like, is selfies, so put that in there. No one wants that, okay? But I'm gonna make it cool. And Gwenpool Minimates is where it's at. So, as you go out there, start looking for Minimates. They are fantastic to collect. Here are some figures in my collection. Let's just move those guys out of the way. So you can see here, I've got various members of the Fantastic Four. The Invisible Person, there is the Invisible Girl. That was actually the Chase from the series. I have her in the blue uniform like Reed Richards next to her. There's the Ghostbusters up front in their blue lab coats. Remember I talked about how you can take a lab coat and you can just repaint it, repurpose it, and put it on a different character, and instantly there's a new thing you can sell. There's some, I guess, I'm not sure what they're called. They're called like Universal Monsters. It's like Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein, that kind of thing. They're sort of in the back. You can see a creature from the Black Lagoon back there. That is this guy, and he's actually a rare variant that I got that glows in the dark. This figure glows in the dark, and that's actually why I got him. I thought that was pretty cool. There is a Van Helsing all the way in the back. You probably can't see. There's a Dr. Doom and a Silver Surfer. I got them to go with the Fantastic Four. I actually kind of collected Fantastic Four Minimates for a while because I thought that they were just a cool posse, that there's enough people in that universe that if you collected all of them, you'd have kind of a cool group of dudes. And that's sort of where the Fantastic Four come in. I, of course, have even more guys scattered about. I'll give you an example. Here's the Minimates version of Alien from the movie Alien, or the follow-up Aliens, or Alien vs. Predator. You can see how they took the form factor and they just made longer arms and a big weird head attachment and a weird tail attachment and bigger legs, and they kind of took the same character and beefed it up to alien size. I think that's kind of cool. I have some Ghostbusters elsewhere that have the full look to them. You know, the power packs, that kind of thing. You know, the jumpsuits. There's a couple cool more guys. This is a Jules and Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction. That's them in their sort of beach guy hobo look after they had to change out of the cool black suits. So that's just a small collection of the Minimates that I've got going on here that I thought I would use an example to show you all the variety of what you can get from the line. Again, I think they're really underrated when it comes to toy photography. You don't get a lot of people who are excited about them, but I'm excited about them. And if you're looking to collect them, you can start by going to eBay, and you can find them at $5 or less with shipping for a lot of them. You don't get to pick coolness factor at that point. You get whatever you get, but every once in a while there'll be like a $5 invisible Frodo. You know, he puts on the ring, he's right, it's clear. $5 from China all day long. You'll see those. You'll see a lot of really funny, goofy Minimates from China for super cheap. You'll find some in the States for super cheap. It doesn't cost much to ship, and some of these they just crank out. There are, of course, going to be ones that are going to be a lot more expensive. I think if you look up the one of Galactus, I think he's like probably maybe 10 inches or something like that. That one's going to be kind of a lot of money, but all the other guys won't be a problem. So with that, I'll catch you guys at the next one.